Alrighty boys, welcome back to another step-by-step video. Now today's video is going to be on mute. Now the important concept that I wanted to start with today's video is that I wanted to talk about your C4 when you are playing mute. Now mute himself has a very strong kit overall. He has the shotgun and SMG-11 combo. You have the mute hammers as well. But the thing I wanted to start with for today's video is I wanted to talk about the nitrocell. Now the nitrocell I feel like is a very easy way of getting potential free kills. We're going to go ahead and start today's video with a nitrocell that you guys can do on Consulate. The idea with this nitrocell is that you're waiting below the skylight, waiting for people to rappel up to the roof. You're waiting for them to get just before the top, and you're going to toss your nitrocell out. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So I recommend to keep trying at it. If you do struggle at it one time, most of the time you're only going to get one pick. However, in that specific round, I did happen to get two, so it is definitely possible to get more than one for that specific nitrocell. Next, we're going to be over on Oregon, and with this specific nitrocell, you're basically waiting for the enemy team to walk into trophy. You need to have this trophy attic wall reinforced, so no hide holes on the left side of this wall. And what the idea is that you're going for here is that you're holding your nitrocell and you're waiting for a little bit of audio of the enemy team being inside a trophy, and then the idea is that you're tossing your nitrocell out to get your potential free kill. And the idea with this one is that you're waiting for when the enemy team is like stuck in trophy. Typically every time you play this map, people are going to get stuck inside of trophy. That's your opportunity to toss your nitrocell into trophy to get the free kill. I would highly recommend to hold the nitrocell out in your hand, so that way the enemy team doesn't hear you ripping the nitrocell, because when you rip the nitrocell in your hand and you hold it in your hand, it's going to make a little bit of audio. So when you pre-rip it and have it just sitting inside of your hand, it's not going to make any noise when you do toss it. There is going to be a little bit of audio when you do actually like toss it and it's like flying through the air, you know what I mean? But it leaves very little bit of time for the enemy team to actually run away if they aren't prepared for the nitrocell to come out. Now in this specific round, the enemy team is going to be trying to go for a white stairs push, and the idea that we're going to be going for here is that we're going to be mostly holding attic here at the beginning of the round. We're going to be looking for the enemy team to commit, basically. Now, the important thing to understand here is that we do have a BP looking at trophy with an Aruna gate on trophy door as well in this position. So I don't necessarily need to focus my attention on trophy, because my teammates are going to be able to give me callouts in this position to basically react to whatever push they go for in that position. Now it's really important here with the enemy team making a white stairs push here that I'm not aggressively challenging on the common angle behind the bomb here. I'm going to hold a passive angle for the walk-in here for white stairs, get myself a free kill on the Zofia, and then Bravo's going to charge through trophy, run through the Aruna gate, go into attic, and then he's going to essentially swing me on the rotate hole. I'm going to get myself another easy free kill onto him and secure the round. Now I wanted to take a second and I wanted to bring up this comment that I got on a Legion video the other day. This comment was basically talking about how some of my placements were like bad for like playing off of that utility. But one of the things that I wanted to quickly bring up with you guys is like, well, yes, that might be true. Like if I'm placing like a Legion mine on like a window and then I don't play that window to get the free kill when the person hops in and I like play for that engagement, that might be true. However, the thing that you gotta understand is that it's not just me on the team, and it's kind of funny during this comment that this guy made was that he was talking about how this is a team game, but then he's not even thinking about playing with his team. It's like a more like doesn't really make sense comment. I think it's mostly just like rage bait, but the idea was that he was saying that like if I put a Legion mine on a window, then I should be playing on that engagement, right? Which makes sense, yes. Right, that does make sense, right? And I don't think it's wrong to play like that, where you play like selfishly off of your utility and like try to get the kills, like all of the kills that you set out for yourself. I don't think that's wrong. However, the thing that I really want to stress is that this game is a team game. So like these Legion mines, these mute chambers that I'm placing down, it's not just me that can play that utility, that space, that engagement. It's not just me that can play for that, you know what I mean? So the thing that I'm really trying to stress is that if we want to have the discussion about this game being a team game and then following up with that about how, you know what I mean, you should be playing off of that engagement, like you should also be thinking about your actual teammates then and talking about how they can play those positions as well, because it's not just you that can play those positions. It can also be your teammates, and it could be a way that your teammates could get free kills instead of only solely you getting free kills. Because one of the things that's really important to understand about this game is that since it is a team game, you want to be trying to get kills with your teammates. Now right here, I'm going to toss a Nitro Cell out. This is another good Nitro Cell. Unfortunately, I didn't land it. An enemy team is going to try to flood into lobby here. I'm going to go ahead and swing aggressively with my Ella here. We're going to get 1 kill on Twitch, and then we're going to go ahead and not reload. We're going to take another gunfire on Ash, looking for the refrag. The last guy in this position is going to be yellow side. The reason why I know this is because Legion is looking in this direction, which tells me that the Brava is in this position. So we're going to swing aggressively and get ourselves another free kill on the Brava to secure the round right there. Like, the concept that I'm trying to explain right now is that yes, some of the positions that I place down, like the Legion mines that I do, the mute jammers that I place down, like yes, there is a world where I play on top of those mute jammers. I swing with my shotgun. I get myself potential free kills when enemy team doesn't, you know what I mean, have the ability to drone me, or maybe they walk into a Legion mine and I swing aggressively to get the free kill. This is stuff that I've already like covered a lot in my other videos, and there's a lot of different concepts to talk about in these videos. That's why it's literally like impossible for me to cover every single topic, every single like habit to have, every single like cross position, every single off position, every single way to play a position, how to set up the pushes, how to entry the positions, how to execute the pushes, how to, you know what I mean? There's so many different ways to play a position. So just because I put a mute jammer down somewhere and I don't actually play it, or put a Legion mine down somewhere on like a window or something and I don't actually play it for the free engagement or the free kill, doesn't necessarily mean that it means that it's a bad gadget placement, because the thing that this guy needs to understand is that this is a team-based game. So just because I don't do it doesn't necessarily mean that my teammates can't do it. You see what I'm saying? So like, since this game is a team game, like how he was saying in his comment, and by the way, this was on a Legion video, just so you guys are aware, this was on a Legion video, and the concept that I'm trying to explain here is that just because I put the gadget there, right, and I don't play it, doesn't mean that my teammates can't play it. That's the thing that I'm trying to explain to you guys here, because at the end of the day, this is a team-based game, and the more free kills that you can get for yourself, that's great and all, but the more team kills that you can get, like the teammates that you set up to get their kills, you know what I mean? That's going to like overall be the best way to get better, is to enable your teammates as well. Because one of the concepts that's really, really misunderstood in today's meta right now is that all of these like players that are hailed as like the best players in the game, like if you put them on a team full of quote unquote like bad players, right? What's going to end up happening is if they play a good team, they're going to just get dumpstered. They're going to lose like super, super easily. And while yes, a lot of these players are like very gifted mechanically, the people that are truly, truly, truly good at this game are the people who set up the pushes, the people who IGL, the people who create the pushes, the people who set up the positions, the people who, you know what I mean? The people who set up everything that enable these players to actually play to the best of their ability. Those are the players that are the best, in my opinion, are the people that enable their teammates to become better players. One thing that I want to quickly clarify is that this position that I'm talking about that I consider to be like the best position is not quite support, because a lot of people have this misconception about support right now, where support is just grabbing like hard breacher, like Ace, Thermite, Habana, whatever, opening hatches, opening walls, whatever, and just like that's it. You know what I mean? A lot of people have that concept of support, you know what I mean? And that's how they like do it to like win games. But in reality, that's not how the game is played. There's much more to it than just that, you know what I mean? So those support players are not who I'm talking about. The people that I'm talking about are the people that are going into the round and they are going from point A all the way to point Z for how to win the round precisely, whether that be by opening up a wall on hard breacher and then getting like a smoke plant and having their teammates play cross angles, or having one of their other teammates come in on the other side of the map and like lurk and make a play and get an ace or something crazy. You know what I mean? The player that is setting up all of that, that's orchestrating that push, the IGL, the backup IGLs, the people like that, those guys are the people that are considered, in my eyes, to be the best players. And don't get me wrong, guys, the concept that I'm thinking of right now, like the IGL, like that playstyle, it doesn't necessarily have to be on like a hard breacher. That's why I don't want to consider it to be the same as support, because if you look at some of these other players that are really getting hailed as like the greatest players, are like capable of being like a fragger as well as being an IGL. So don't get me wrong when I say like setting up to push, because you could totally set up a push and call out a push while you're playing a fragger as well and be that entry as well, you know what I mean? And the thing that I really want to quickly cover in this video, and the reason why I brought up this comment in the first place, is that I wanted to talk about how just because of me placing a gadget in a specific location, it doesn't necessarily mean that that gadget placement is bad. It just means that there's a reason why I have it there, and there is a conversation that we can have about that specific spot and that specific engagements that come from putting a mute jammer or a Legion mine on a window. There's very specific things and very specific ways that you can play an operator. But at the same time, there's also endless possibilities of how you can play an operator and the right way to play an operator. There's different meanings to that. There's different ways to go about it. That's the thing that I'm trying to explain to you guys. So when I make multiple step-by-step videos on Ace, on Mute, on Legion, on Grim, and I go over these different concepts, just because I don't play it how you think is like the meta doesn't necessarily mean that it's the wrong way to play. Being flexible is also another way of getting a lot better in this game. Hopefully that makes sense though, and if that guy that made that comment is watching, you pissed me off. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!